This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by Groundhog Day is an event, not a business strategy. Are you ready to finally solve those pesky issues that keep holding back your business success and never seem to go away? Embrace the power of the S.P.R.I.N.G formula that unearths the issues and opportunities burrowed beneath the surface, and grow your business so you thrive from your intersection of your brilliance and your passion. Claim your copy today at www.thegroundhogbook.com. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
My name is Adam Homey. I am your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in and invest in yourself today. Right now, we are speaking with my friend Tim Zimmerman, the Master Mindset Transformer. And just to tell you a little bit about Tim, he's a New York Times bestselling author, a multi-million-dollar producer, a TV producer and host, and there's so much more you can discover about him when you visit his website. Just come to our website at brilliancepluspassion.com, and you'll see links within the show notes that will give you so much more information about Tim. And because he has so many great things to share with us today, without further ado, let's dive right in. Tim Zimmerman, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Great to be here.
First question, how does the work you do make the world a better place for your clients, customers, and society at large?
Okay. The work that I do, basically, part of my background, I sold and taught Dale Carnegie courses, did the Think and Grow Rich stuff, went through all of the other training programs, the Zig Ziglar, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, went through Landmark Education, not only the forum, but the advanced course. I studied under 5 yogic masters for the mind development, mind control type stuff. I went through 5 Tibetan empowerments, 2 with the Dalai Lama, so on and so forth. So I've done more than most. In the beginning, what I did was I took the regular success stuff as far as increasing your self-confidence and your communications ability and sales ability and management ability and all of those things that if you became 10 or 20 or 30% more effective in those areas, you would have exponential success. So I took those originally and put it together with the mind development stuff on how to control your thoughts and how to really do conscious, deliberate manifestation. Now we've gone beyond that to where we in the very beginning, what I call phase 1 of the SM3 Ultimate Success System is we go into an individual, the client's unconscious, subconscious mind, and we pull out the negative weeds that were planted in childhood. So the belief system that was planted by our parents from birth to 6 years old, and then from the experiences from 6 to 20, we know now through the psychiatrists that that's what governs our life. That unconscious, subconscious patterns, beliefs, feelings of not being good enough, not smart enough, not beautiful or handsome enough, being unlovable, any dramas or traumas, any abuses, sexual, mental, physical abuses, those things continue to manifest because those are the basis of our thoughts. So now what we can do through the Mastermind Cleanse protocol, which is part of phase 1, is we can go in to the unconscious, subconscious of a client and basically pull those weeds by the root and then plant the polar opposite positive. And this is completely different from the training that I've gone through for the last 40 years. Actually, it took me 35 years to discover this. Actually, it was discovered it came through Spirit through me in September of 2012. Then I started adding it to the training in 2013. And all of the clients had exponential success, even more than just increasing their effectiveness. So that's what I do. And that betters them, that betters their family, that betters their clients and the world at large.
You know, you actually answered a couple of my questions here, which is great because you gave us so much in-depth detail. I myself am very interested in things like resonance repatterning, inherited trauma, and some of those studies because it's the subtleties of how we're raised. And many times by parents and elders who are well-meaning, they just don't have a framework to know that they could know any better or to understand the impacts. So yeah, I've gone through a process of looking at events in my childhood and confronting them and the people involved, not because I'm showing up with a bill for reparations or anything like that, but simply because I am looking to understand it for myself so that I can gain the lessons from it. Take it in a compartment, stick it over here, and it's something I can reference when I see what the heck is going on here, or what are the gifts that this gave me. So it's not a matter of expecting, you know, the folks who raise you or involved in your childhood to beg you for forgiveness or even acknowledge that they quote unquote did anything wrong, because in their mind, did they really?
Right. And just to let you know, that is the old way. That's the old paradigm, the talk therapy, even using NLP or eye movement therapy or hypnosis. You know, those things can help. The only challenge is that, you know, typically, let's say, well, talk therapy, if you have, you know, 20 or 30 or 40 years to talk through it, then, you know, that might help you. We do it a little bit quicker, even like with hypnosis, which is great. All of them are great. NLP is great, so on and so forth, but they only take one subject matter. And typically, what I do is, let's say all these things happen to you, right? And this was the first one, and something's bothering you now. This is the last one, right? That's bothering you now. Basically, if you go to a therapist and you say, you know, this is bothering the shit out of me, I can't sleep at night, you know, so on and so forth, they'll work on this one and they might collapse it, right? But what happens, you know, a week later, a month later, 3 months later, 6 months later, what happens is that it pops up because the root cause is the first time it happened. So what we do in the SM3 Ultimate Success System in phase 1 is we go to the first root cause, and we collect. Actually, I call it pulling. We pull. You ever pull weeds when you're a kid?
All the time.
Yeah. So what did you have to do for the weed? You have to pull it out by the what?
You have to pull it by the roots, or it's going to come back.
Roots, right? And you have to take the seeds off and put that in the bag first, and then pull out the roots, and then you put that in the bag. We incinerate the bag; it goes poof. But when you look at the ground, what does the ground look like after you pull the weed out? It's got a divot in it, right? So that divot and the loose dirt accepts other like seeds typically. That's another thing that therapists don't do. They don't replace what they removed. So what we do is we actually plant the polar opposite positive in that hole that was created by removing the root cause, and then the unconscious subconscious actually goes ahead and nurtures that. And that's really the reason why people are getting so much success. Is because that new plant is driving their thoughts. And as you know, thoughts what? Thoughts are things. Thoughts are are real things, right? What you think about, you bring about. So this is why this is a whole new paradigm in positive mental attitude training, because now we're replacing those negatives in the unconscious subconscious first, and replacing them with the polar opposite positive. So now you don't even think about it. Whatever was bothering people goes away. I've had clients that have negative things happen to them that they don't even remember what they were by doing this.
Exactly. All right. So we're a little over halfway through here. So I'd like to kind of lightning round through the rest of this. And we still have a few things we want to cover. So the first is, tell me 3 of the frequently asked questions you get from folks who are considering working with you.
Well, normally, you know, when I went through explaining what I explained, in some cases there's a almost a disbelief that we can really do this. And that's one of the reasons why I guarantee results. I actually guarantee results in writing with each of my clients. We go through what they want to overcome, and we put down in writing that, you know, I guarantee that we'll be able to overcome that. So, you know, first of all, is it real? You know, how much does it cost? And for what we do and how we're doing it, and because it's going to last for the individual's lifetime and really into future lives, it's really a deal, and it works. I've had clients, after we do, you know, the protocol with them, look at me and go, "What did you do?" I'm like, "Well, we just did the protocol." And I'm like, no, really, what did you do? And then, well, how long does it last? And it lasts forever because we pull the root out.
Exactly. Okay, what are 3 questions, or any questions at all, do you wish people would ask?
I wish they would ask, Tim, you know, does this really work to overcome all my negative dramas, traumas, my negative patterns, programming, all of the negative ancestral type things from the past? Does it really work? And I would say yes. And they say, and you guarantee results? And I said yes. And then they would say, well, where do I sign up?
Great. Awesome.
I mean, that's, you know, it's going to help them throughout their life, help with their relationships, help with their business relationships, help with their children. It stops the negative patterns from continuing to be put into your children. And if your children are over 6 years old, there's parts of it that we can do with them to overcome some of the stuff that's already in their unconscious, subconscious.
Great. So let's get to know a little bit more about Tim Zimmerman. What would people who know you be surprised to learn about you?
Sometimes I say I'm shy. And
really?
People look at me and go, "You're shy?" And I was shy as a kid, because I have heard everything as far as negatives in people's life, and I grew up as a child of an alcoholic. Came from a family of 9. I had 3 older brothers, 2 older sisters, 2 younger brothers, and a younger sister, and I got beat up all the time. So, you know, my brothers beat me up, you know, to the point of crying. You know, sometimes you see those videos. One video comes to mind where, you know, the 2 brothers put their younger kid in a blanket and they start twirling it around and they throw him against the wall. You know, see how good they bounce. You know, that was some of the stuff that I went through. You know, my loving brothers, and they were just being brothers. But all of that has an effect on your self-esteem. It has effect on whether you feel lovable. It has effect on, you know, if you're being called an idiot all the time, that affects, you know, what you think about how smart you are. I mean, in 8th grade, I was doing college algebra as a self-study, and I still thought I was stupid.
Yeah,
you know,
I get it. I get it totally. So we do need to move along here because there's a few more things I want to cover in the couple minutes we have left. What do you hope people say about you when you're not around to hear it?
You know what? I don't really hope people say anything except, wow, this really does work.
Wow,
And
that's
I've
awesome.
had some people say some amazing things, and they go out and they do amazing things with their life. And, you know, I can see the difference, you know, when somebody overcomes the glass ceiling that they have inside themselves, and they go out and, outproduce everyone. I have, real estate clients that have, quadrupled their business and have become the top 0.5% producers in actually in all of Nevada. And, they're making, over 6 figures a year. And, they tie it back to the beginning of it, being able to let go of their negative beliefs about themselves.
Exactly. So if you could go back in time and change one thing you've done or one thing you've experienced quickly, what would that be?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Truly
okay.
Nothing.
I get it.
And the reason being is because from all of the trials and tribulations that I've gone through, this protocol, the Master Mind Cleanse protocol, and we even have a deeper one that actually goes into we're now able to go into your soul mind and remove negatives from past lives and previous lives, all the way back to the birth of an individual soul, through the here and now and into the future in future lives. So
awesome.
It's an amazing program.
Great.
And none of that would have happened if anything that I went through didn't happen. We wouldn't be here talking right now.
Yeah. So what famous person, alive or dead, would you like to meet, and what question would you have for them? What would be the number one question?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
And the question that I would ask him is if there were a way that you could affect thousands of more black kids, more than you have already, would you want to hear about it? Because this protocol, given to anyone, any human that actually uses it, will overcome their trials and tribulations that they have gone through.
Yeah. All right. In a sentence or two, what motivates and inspires you to keep going when you're having a tough time or facing a challenge?
Knowing that everything is imperfectly perfect and that I am one with God because God is already one with me.
Awesome. Awesome. And finally, and I know you have a special gift for our listeners, and I will introduce that to them. But in general, right now, what is one thing that you would urge our listeners to do as soon as they finish checking out this episode right now?
Besides going to the video and starting the watch your thoughts exercise.
Besides that, yes.
Well, to know in your heart of hearts that whatever you've gone through in the past can be overcome. And again, I guarantee results. This is a new paradigm shift in getting rid of the negatives in your unconscious mind, which is where 95% of the programming of your life actually comes from. So in getting rid of those negatives, then you can have the positive life that you really want to live.
Amazing. Tim, you've gone above and beyond in sharing insights with our listeners today, and I am so grateful to you for your generosity, for your willingness to share, and how you serve from your intersection of your brilliance and your passion. Before we wrap up here, what I want our listeners to do, and you mentioned this just a moment ago, is go to YouTube, and I'm going to display the link on the screen very briefly if you're watching this on our brilliancepluspassion.com website. The title of the video is Tim Zimmerman, SM3success.com, Step 1, Watch Your Thoughts. So the link is going to be on the posting on the website. And what this video is about, it's just about 8 minutes. It's not very long. It's a profound exercise where it covers how the first step is necessary to start controlling one's thoughts, to start to control one's life. It's step 1 of a several step process. So check out the video and it'll begin you on your journey. So again, go to our website at brilliancepluspassion.com, look in the show notes, and you'll see the direct link to the YouTube video. And with that, Tim Zimmerman, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an honor, and believe me, an education.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance plus Passion podcast.